Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're going to get started. We're going to talk about within the government, within the Air Force, bringing DevSecOps into an organization at supersonic speed. Well, after 3 years of progress, we're getting there. We're making steps.
Yeah, and we're going to bring up a lot of acronyms. We're going to have a lot of jet metaphors, so be prepared. Okay, I'm Derek Bissinger. I go by Eeyore, and I'm a retired 20-year Air Force pilot for the B-1, and currently living out my second childhood, enjoying life as a software engineer, now back in the government, part of the 309th Software Engineering Group.
I'm Mike Snyder, so I'm a principal heading up our defense business unit at our small company called Oteemo. We do cloud native DevSecOps and transformation work for both federal and commercial customers. And I am pretty much the most non-technical person ever working in the technical field. So we're going to keep this fun.
Pretty good. You do pretty well. All right, so I'll start this out. Government is huge. If you can imagine the Air Force governed by DoD, it's a large entity. So when we try to talk about DevOps in at least this presentation, we kind of have to keep that in mind. I was working with industry before I got into the Air Force. I was part of the corporate software development world, and I really wanted to bring all of that DevOps goodness that the industry really has grabbed onto and bring that to government. But then I realized how big the government is and how difficult it is to actually affect change. So this has been about 3 years of work for me to get to where we are today at this presentation. And so I decided to break it down into, let's find a small team, 2 pizza rule. Let's get them together and work as much as we can with industry to learn best practices, to learn DevOps, to learn all of these different tools and all of these different capabilities that exist. And really, about a year ago, I realized that what we really need to do at the 309th is bring on best of industry engineers on contract to sit side by side with government to be hands-on developing solutions together. And this latest effort that we're presenting here started in April, and it was our first real run through at the 309th with dedicated contract support with best of industry. And we were very well suited in that setup with our small problem set to develop capability very quickly. And our goal was to bring DevOps to the government, to lower cycle time away from the current months that we experience within the 309th to a matter of hours. And really, this is just the starting point, but it sets the need for what we need to be doing within government, how we need to be working at this, and it's still very much the need today.
One other thing that we needed to do from the beginning, what we found is that traditionally, when contractors were brought in, it was to holistically outsource all the development work or push it off or get it out of the government's ownership. What we came in and came on board as part of this team was, how do we help to build the organizational capacity within Eeyore and his team to help them, one, take more ownership of the path to production, so we can continuously improve it, but 2, also how can we solve problems and work together and be more of a partner organization than just a full outsourced. So it's a different dynamic for the 309th, as he was saying, to do this. We're going to be throwing a ton of acronyms at everybody, so just going to level set a few to get started here. So a big one that we hear is the SWEG. We've mentioned the 309th already. So there are 3 software engineering groups across the Air Force, and each of them are associated with the 3 maintenance depots. So the 309th, which is based and connected with Hill Air Force Base out in Ogden, out in Layton, Utah, just north of Salt Lake City. The 76th SWEG, which is at Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma City, and the 402nd, which is at Robins Air Force Base down in Warner Robins, Georgia. So all three of those groups have very specific mission sets, customer portfolio of a lot of different customers, weapon systems, aircraft systems, and other software programs that they support, and with the mission of doing cradle-to-grave software development and software sustainment for the Air Force. One of the big pieces of software that's probably one of the most traditional architected elements of the entire system is the OFP, right? The Operational Flight Program. That's the embedded system software that the aircraft will not fly without OFPs. It integrates and controls the propulsion, the avionics, the navigation, targeting systems, all the data, everything that operates within those aircraft, all is run through the OFP. Rapid OFP, so the next thing for that, again, like we were saying before, the OFP cycle to get any updates is typically months, sometimes longer, to get those things deployed out to the whole fleet, from initial concept development through testing, development, testing on systems integration labs, testing on the aircraft, and then deployment, right? The rapid OFP framework that Eeyore has really been leading with the team at SkiCAMP and the 309 is looking at that software supply chain in a small enough size